असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय.
Hello my dear students, hope you are safe in your home. Now we are in 12th lesson, that is part 2 or paper 2 of 9th standard democratic nationalistic revolutions in 17th century, 18th century, 19th century. Okay, so we are in the 12th lesson. In 12th lesson we have completed that early modern period, American independence, glorious revolutions we have done earlier. Today in our learning process we will discuss about French Revolution. Today's our topic is French Revolution. What is revolution? Majority of the people, they go against of something which they do not like. It is obviously called as revolution. Or the people they are seeking, or the people they want changes. For the purpose of changes, they started movement against of the somebodies. So that is usually called as revolution. So this revolution started in the French, so that it is called French Revolution. I want to give you three important years. Three times. Why I am going to give three important years? Because revolution thrice it was outbroke in French. Revolution occurred three times in French or France. Okay. 1789 it is first revolution. First time revolution started, occurred or broke out in 1789. Again in 1830, second time revolution was broke out. Again in 1848, third time revolution broke out. So in your learning process, if anybody will ask you how many times a revolution broke out in French, three times. 1789 first revolution, 1830 second revolution, 1848 third revolution. So we are going to discuss how the revolution started, what are the consequences of the revolutions, what are the results of the revolutions. We are going to see in this French Revolution topic. Okay. 1774. In year 1774, Louis XVI was the king. Louis XVI was the French king. They may ask you, who was the French king in 1774? Louis XVI. Whenever Louis XVI was king of France, you might have known that in our American independence struggle, he was helped. He helped 13 USA colonies. 13 USA colonies. He helped USA to become independent. Okay. French, they helped America to win independence. French were against of the Britain. French were against of the Britain. So we can write that French helped 13 USA colonies. So due to that, the treasury was empty. Treasury was empty. What is the meaning of treasury? Treasury what? Treasury empty. Treasury means amount, money. So why the treasury was empty? Because he spent most of the money was spent in war. Where is the war? The war was fought against USA and Britain because of war. We can write as because of wars. Because of wars. Louis XVI helped USA for their independence. Then their treasury was empty. Whenever the treasury was empty, means empty pocket. They don't have proper money, but they have a very great palace. Versailles, palace of Versailles. They have very great palace. To maintaining of this palace of wassails or to run for the general administration. General administration means maintaining of courts, okay, maintaining of an army. Kingdom is there, king is there, they have to maintain the palace, they have to give salaries to the army, courts, officials and offices, universities and also universities. Not only this, so many things will be there in the kingdom. Usually the king wants to administer properly. So whenever they do not have a money, how they can administer? It will become very difficult to maintain, because without money we cannot maintain. Without money, does your house can be maintained? No, not possible. So that we can say that French fell in debt. French was in debt. Debt means completely they are in the bankrupt, loss. They don't have any money to maintain for the general administration. Next, let's see about French society. French society. This is the condition of the king's condition or kingdom condition of French condition during 1774. Yeah, French society. French society was divided into three estates. French society was divided into three estates. First one is called as first estate. First estate. Next, second estate. Second estate. Third one is called as third estate. French society was divided into three estates. First estate, second estate, third estate. Sir, what are these estates, sir? Who will be there in the estates? In the first estate, it will be mostly clergy. Sir, who are clergy? Clergy means priest. Clergy means priest, means church fathers. Church fathers, they belongs to clergy, or they are in the first estate. Second estate, it is nobility. Second estate, in the second estate, most of the people were nobility. Sir, who are nobility, sir? Nobility means kings or king's relatives. So these are come under second estate category. Then third estate category, who are in the third estate? In the third estate category, there is businessman, okay, lawyers, peasants, laborers, all others, except these two remaining all others, businessmen, lawyers, peasants, laborers, artisans. Sir, what is mean by artisans, sir? Artisans means those who will make the handicrafts. Okay, so these are artisans, laborers, peasants, lawyer, businessmen, educational professionals, small peasants, landless laborers and also landless laborers also come under the third estate. See here, peasants, small peasants, I said no, small peasants. Only 90% of the population is consists of third estate. Third estate consists of 90% of the population. But this 90% of the population, they have very less percent of land. They have very less percent of the land. Very scarce, very less percent of the land they had. Next, 60% of the land. 60% of the land belongs to clergy and nobility. 60% of the land belongs to clergy and nobility. That means church and the rich people. Church and the rich people. Now let's see what is the condition of the peasants. Conditions of peasants. Sir, who are peasants, sir? Peasants, who are peasants? Peasants were those who are farmers. They do farming. They do not have their own land. They'll take the land, others' land they'll take usually for the rent. So the peasants are facing lot of problems. The peasants they are facing lot of problems. they have to pay feudal dues. Feudal dues. Sir, what are feudal dues, sir? Feudal means landlords. Feudal means landlords. If I took a piece of land from the landlord or feudal lord, I have to pay some amount to him. Next, I have to work. I am a peasant now. I have to work where? I have to work in their houses. Fields. I have to work in their houses. I have to work in their fields. I have to serve in army. Also. I have to work in army also. Like in 8th class, in Telangana, there were Doras. Under Doras, so many peasants, landless people were working now. So the peasants' condition was same. Moreover, church, they are collecting tax from the peasants. Church collecting tax. The tax name is tithes. It may be called as tithes or tithes. Church collecting tax from the peasants. Church collecting tax from which name? Tithes. Who will pay? Peasants have to pay. Who will pay what? Peasants have to pay. It will be 10th of the agriculture products. How much agriculture yield you will get? How much agriculture products you get? From the product, 10% you have to pay to the church. 10th. I am writing 10th of agriculture produce. Next, state. State means kingdom. Kingdom also collecting taxes from the peasants. These are tille or tille. It may be called as tille or tille to the state. State means kingdom. King collecting taxes, tille one kind of taxes. There are a number of taxes we are collecting. They are collecting taxes on the salt. They are collecting taxes on tobacco. They are collecting a number of different taxes. They are collecting from the peasants. So what did you understand from these examples? First state, second state, they are exempted to pay any taxes. They do not need to pay any taxes. They need not to pay any taxes. Then who will have to pay the taxes? Who would have to pay the taxes? Third state people, businessmen, lawyers, peasants, laborers, artisans, the remaining people, very poor people, have to pay the taxes. Sometimes they pay the taxes, but in case sometimes if the crops will fail, if landless laborers, small peasants, they are ready to pay the taxes, but sometimes failure of crops, if suddenly rainfall occurring, huge rainfall occurs, suddenly drought occur, so there is a chance of failure of crops, then how they have to pay the taxes? So it was a big problem. It was a really big problem to them to pay these taxes. Okay, next. Growing of middle class. Growing of middle class. In the 18th century, the middle class was grown very successfully and very powerfully because these third estate people, businessmen, lawyers, peasants, laborers, artisans, small peasants, court officials, these all people were much educated. These all people were very educated. Okay, middle class people were what? They received good education. Whenever they received good education, they are asking, what is this? Why we have to pay taxes? So whenever the people are educated people, they question to the government. Like businessmen, lawyers, and merchants, the same businessmen. These people became professionals. Teachers are there, lawyers are there, clerks are there. So many people were questioning to them. Sir, how sir? Why they are questioning? Because they are inspired by the philosophers. They are inspired by the philosophers. Yeah, these people were inspired by the philosophers. Sir, who are the philosophers, sir? Who are the philosophers? What they will do? They change our idea. They'll tell in a different way. They motivate us. If some of the members were not alive, they died. But if we read their books, which still we will be enthusiastic. We will be very energetic. Okay, some persons' books also will be motivators. So this 18th century, majority of the people, those who are middle class, they were inspired by the ideas of the philosophers. Sir, who are their names, sir? Who are the persons, sir? These were, first person was John Locke. John Locke. Yeah, philosopher John Locke. Second one is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. And third person was Montesquieu. Third person was Montesquieu. I repeat, middle class was grown in the 18th century. They were inspired by the philosophers like John Locke and Jean-Jacques Rousseau and finally Montesquieu. They were motivated. Sir, what they are telling, why, how they are motivating? These three philosophers, they are inspiring the people that they are asking relentlessly questions. In their text, in their books, they have written that society based on freedom. What they are saying? Society, we need freedom. Do the third estate people have freedom here? No, they don't have any freedom. First estate, second estate people are enjoying, but third estate people are not enjoying. So that these philosophers are demanded that society based on freedom, equal laws and opportunities. Equal laws, equal opportunities and freedom we want. So that majority of the people were motivated by the philosophers were in the 18th century. Let's go deeply about the philosophers and their ideology. Just we now discussed that philosophers were inspired the people, okay, what they are demanding, how they are encouraging the people. They wanted a society based on freedom, equal laws and equal opportunities. What they want? Freedom and equal laws and opportunities. Freedom, equal laws and opportunities they want. So this is the philosophers' ideas. Example, John Locke. Let's see what John Locke was advocated. John Locke wrote a book, it is called as Two Treatises. Okay, he wrote a book, famous book, Two Treatises of the Government. Two Treatises of Government or John Locke wrote Two Treatises of Government book. In his book, he was clearly mentioned about he was refused of absolute right. Refused absolute right. Sir, what is absolute right, sir? Absolute right also called as divine right. Divine right. Kings usually believed that by birth only we got certain powers. God was made us as a king. We born a king family because of the boon. Okay. So John Locke, in his Two Treatises of Government, he refused the absolute powers of the monarch. Monarch means king. He refused absolute powers or absolute right of the monarch. Next, Rousseau. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Just we discussed that. In his book is The Social Contract. The social contract. Okay. In his book Social Contract, he was mentioned that government should be based on social contract. What he was wrote? What he was wrote? Government should be based on social contract. So what is the meaning of it? What is the meaning of it? Because he was explaining that a contract must be there between the people and the representatives. Social contract between social contract between people and representatives. Yeah. Rousseau, in his book The Social Contract, he was explained that the government should be based on the social contract between the people, the representative, must be a contract need to be there. He was explaining. Next, another important person, first, second and third. You might have known that third person who about what we learned, Montesquieu. Okay, third person was Montesquieu. Okay. Montesquieu, he wrote the book, it is the wonderful book, it is The Spirit of the Laws. His book is The Spirit of Laws. Spirit of the Laws. Yeah, Spirit of the Laws. Montesquieu, he wrote a book that is called The Spirit of the Laws. In his Spirit of the Laws, in his book, The Spirit of the Laws, he was proposed that there must be a division of powers. There must be a division of power. He was proposed that division of power. Division of power. Sir, what is division of power? King hold all the powers. He only police, he is only lawyer, he is only judge, he is only officer. All the work was under all the decisions was made by the king only. But Montesquieu is proposing that there must be a division of power. Compulsory there need to be a division of power between the three important organs. The first one is legislature. First one is legislature. Second one is executive. Third one is judiciary. What actually the legislature do? Legislatures will make the laws. Legislatures usually they make the laws. What the executives they do? Executives they execute the laws. Officers they implement the laws. Executives they implement the laws. Judiciary they observe the executive and the legislature. They punish. Okay, judiciary will punish or judiciary will also supervise the legislature and executive. So it must be a division, must be divided. But these three were under the control of king at the time. These three were under the control of the king. So these kind of the legislature, these kind of division of power were established in the USA. This kind of division of power was earlier introduced in the USA. So Montesquieu he was proposing that USA is following the division of power. Why can't we? We need USA model of government. Because legislature have to make the laws. Executives have to implement the laws. Judiciary they have to supervise the legislature and the executive. So these are the important ideology of this trio, these three people, important philosophers. Let's see how the revolution was outbreak of revolution. How the revolution started. Outbreak of revolution means how the revolution started. Let's see how the revolution started. Okay. You know that kings wanted to increase the taxes. Sir, why the kings wanted to increase the taxes? Because he wanted to maintain the palace of Versailles, or maintain army, offices, buildings, courts, a number of things he has to maintain. Do he have a lot of money? No. So pocket was empty. So that he wanted to increase the taxes. Who will pay the taxes? Only one category of the people, or third estate people only will pay the taxes. So king was proposed that on 5th on 5th May on 5th May 1789, very important here, on 5th May 1789, on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called Estate General. Sir, what is Estate General? This Estate General consists of three estates. First estate, second estate, third estate. Sir, why he was called, sir? Why he was called? Because of proposal. What is the proposal? Proposal for new taxes. Yes. He wanted to propose new taxes. Okay. You know that first estate, second estate were exempted. First estate, second estates, two estates were exempted. From the first and second estates, they have sent 300 members, 300 representatives. From first estate and second estates, there is 300 representatives they have seated. Once you see the textbook, many members they have seated. So those people were sad, those people were called as first and second estate people. They were seated. Okay. Next, third estate people. From the third estate, there are 600 members from third estate. 600 members were attended for this estate general meeting. They stood. Okay, they stand at the back. First, those people, first estate, second estate they sat. And 600 people they stand at the back. You once see estate general picture in textbook, you see many of the people stand. Okay, those who are sitting before and on their back, they stand at the back, many of the people. So third estate, that third estate people were very educated people, isn't it? These people were very much educated, and these people, among the 600 members, peasants, women, artisans were not allowed. Only very educated people were gone to the meeting. Very well educated people were gone to the meeting, especially lawyers, business people, and officials went. Peasants, women, artisans were not allowed in the meeting. But they have carried 40,000 letters. 40,000 letters. 600 members came with the 40,000 letters. 600 representative of the third estate, they brought 40,000 letters which have written by women, peasants, artisans. Okay. Next, let's see the procedure. Actually the procedure is earlier. Each estate have one vote. Each estate had one vote. Yeah, earlier each estate had one vote in the voting. One vote in the voting. That means first estate, second estate, third estate. One vote, another vote. So three votes only will be there. So who will win? These two people only will, because one vote, two vote, and their vote only one vote. So first and second estate people will win usually. Okay, that is the procedure. So the Louis XVI also wanted to continue the same. Louis wanted to continue the same. He wanted to continue the same which was earlier. The procedure was done, same proposal. But third estate people were demanding, no, each estate no vote, all members should have one vote. But these people were demanded, okay, the voting should be done, the assembly whole. How many members were attended? That many, and members have to be vote. Each member had to be one vote. So Louis wanted to continue the same practice, but they were demanded that the voting be done. What is the demand? Who are demanding? Demanding third estate. What third estate demanding? What third estate demanding? Third estate demanding that voting should be done by the assembly whole. Voting should be done by the assembly whole. Whole assembly. How many members were attended? 300, 600, 900 people. No, majority is third estate. So voting should be done by the assembly whole. That means they are asking that one member should have one vote. One member should have one vote. 600 members, 600 votes. These 300 members, 300 votes. So where this idea come from? From where this idea came to them? This idea was given by Rousseau. This idea was given by Rousseau. Okay? Rousseau in his book, what he wrote? His book is Social Contract. Social Contract. In his social contract, Rousseau proposed that every person should have one vote. So they also demanding the same. But what the king said? King said no. King rejected. King was rejected completely. Louis XVI said that no, not at all. I am the king. Whatever I am telling, you have to listen. Only there is a old procedure. What is the old procedure? Earlier, each estate had only one vote. First estate is one vote, second estate is one vote, third estate will be one vote. So who will win usually? These people will win because they have two votes. They have only one vote because 2:1 majority. 2:1 majority. So that these people were not recognizing, they are not accepting of this proposal. They came out from this meeting. Who came out from this meeting? Third estate people came out from the meeting. I repeat, third estate people came out from this meeting. In our next session, we will discuss that what was happened after this meeting. What was happened after this meeting. This is our topic of today's topic, children. I hope you understand the French Revolution. The first part, the beginning part, and in the next session, in the next topic, we will see that how the revolution was gone, what are the consequences of the revolution. I hope you understand.